Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our history chapter number 11, the national movement, phase first. Up till now, we have understood that by the British rule, no section of the Indian society was satisfied. All were having anger against British rule. And the second half of the 19th century led to a political awakening among the people. The growth of national consciousness gave rise to a new kind of movement, and this movement was led by Indian National Congress, and soon it became the mass struggle for independence. Rise of nationalism. Beta, common national identity gave rise to an organized national movement in India. And people of India started looking beyond the regional boundaries and thought of India as a single nation and themselves as a part of this nation. And with the growing of this sense of unity, came the feeling of nationalism, and we are going to read about this in the chapter, that how this feeling contributed to the rise of nationalism in India. Discontent against British rule. We have read that the British exploited India. All sections of the society suffered under the British rule. But when we talk about one by one, let us see that the peasant had suffered because of high taxes, artisans were ruined by foreign competition, factory workers received very low wages, and not only this, agriculture, industries, सब धीरे धीरे खत्म हो रहे थे because they did not taken any step for the development of these things, and they treated India as a source of raw material for their industries. And the employment opportunities for educated Indians were very limited. Not only this, the army people were also not happy because of the discrimination in army. The steady drain of India's wealth increased poverty in India. And at that time there were frequent famines in India that also brought poverty and a lot of poorness among the people, and they were not satisfied with the British rule because they have not taken any step for welfare of the people of India. The attitude of superiority adopted by the British was also disliked by Indians. Political, administrative and economic unification of the country. But we all know that under the British rule, all the sections of society suffered. But it is also true that India was unified under British rule as one unit, because the British introduced a uniform system of governance throughout the country. Laws, at least in the theory, were uniformly applied to all. Economic life became interlinked after the introduction of modern industries. A feeling of solidarity and togetherness developed. The railway, telegraph and postal system helped people to come in contact with one another. People realized that British rule was responsible for their suffering, and this anti-British feeling was a major factor that contributed to the rise of nationalism in India. Spread of modern education. बेटा जो मॉडर्न वेस्टर्न एजुकेशन हमारे देश में अंग्रेज लेके आए, उसने भी नेशनलिज्म के फीलिंग को बढ़ाने में बहुत मदद की. The British introduced modern Western education to prepare some Indians to work at the low post of the administration. और उनका ये सोचना भी था कि जब लोग हमारे बताए हुए थॉट्स और आइडियाज़ को अपनाएंगे तो दे विल बिकम सपोर्टर्स ऑफ ब्रिटिश रूल इन इंडिया. एंड ऑल्सो दे एक्सपेक्ट that since educated Indians would be dependent on them for employment, they would always remain loyal to them. This was the feeling of Britishers in spreading modern education in India. But when we became familiar with the world by one single language, we also get or impressed by the ideas of freedom and equality popularized by the American and French revolutions. Not only this, the English language acted as a unifying factor because people from different parts of India speaking different languages could now communicate with one another through a common medium. Let us talk about the role of the press in arousing nationalism. But we all know that press played an extremely important role in strengthening national consciousness. उस समय के जो पेपर थे उन्होंने ब्रिटिशर्स की एंटी इंडियन पॉलिसीज़ को बहुत अच्छे से लोगों तक पहुंचाया. एंड बाय दिस both English and the vernacular languages papers played an important role in mobilizing public opinion and create a feeling of national bonding. The government tried to suppress the growing feeling of nationalism and patriotism by banning the newspapers and books. The work of scholars and writers like Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Rabindranath Tagore, Subramaniam Bharati, Bharati Indu Harishchandra और बहुत सारे दूसरे लोगों ने जो उस समय लिखा that writing of those people also help in arousing national consciousness among the people. And that time the literature in the form of fiction, essay and patriotic poetry developed self-confidence in the masses. Let us talk about some immediate factors. 1870 में जो नेशनल आइडेंटिटी की फीलिंग थी उसने बहुत लोगों के माइंड में बहुत अंदर तक अपना असर कर दिया था. And at that time, the policies of Viceroy Lord Lytton intensified discontent against the British rule. यही नहीं उन्होंने जो किया उससे समाज का हर वर्ग सतर्क हो चुका था और ब्रिटिश को अच्छी तरह से पहचान चुका था. उन्होंने उस समय जो इम्पोर्ट ड्यूटीज थी ब्रिटिश गुड्स की वो पूरी तरह से हटा दी थी और जिसकी वजह से हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज इंडिया में ख़त्म होने लगी थी. नॉट ओनली दिस, ही मेड इंडिया टू पे फॉर द वॉर अगेंस्ट अफगानिस्तान in 1877 when India was suffering a famine. At that time, a lavish imperial darbar was held in Delhi. और फेमाइन के लोगों को किसी तरह की मदद करने के बजाय a large amount of money was wasted in this darbar. And 2 acts were brought. The Vernacular Press Act in 1878 जिसने वर्नाकुलर न्यूज़पेपर पर रिस्ट्रिक्शंस लगा दिए और दूसरा एक्ट आया आर्म्स एक्ट 1878 में जिसने इंडियंस को आर्म रखने से बिल्कुल बैन कर दिया. इन दोनों एक्ट ने भी बहुत स्ट्रांगली इफेक्ट किया और समाज का हर सेक्शन इसके अगेंस्ट में खड़ा हुआ. इल्बर्ट बिल कंट्रोवर्सी 1883 में लॉर्ड रिपन के लॉ मेंबर सर इल्बर्ट ने एक बिल इंट्रोड्यूस किया जिसे इल्बर्ट बिल के नाम से जाना जाता है. इस बिल में कहा गया कि जो इंडियन जजेस हैं वो यूरोपियन के केसेस भी सुन सकते हैं, बट यूरोपियन कम्युनिटी इसके अगेंस्ट थी और उसने एजिटेशन स्टार्ट कर दिया इस बिल को अपोज करने के लिए और गवर्नमेंट को इस बिल को विड्रॉ करने के लिए प्रेशर डाला और ये बिल गवर्नमेंट ने विड्रॉ कर लिया, जिससे जो इंडियंस थे वो पूरी तरह से समझ चुके थे कि ब्रिटिशर्स से इक्वालिटी मांगना या सोचना कि वो इक्वालिटी की भावना से काम करेंगे, दैट इज इम्पॉसिबल. Withdrawing of this bill by British government proved that they could never expect equality from the British government. Formation of political associations. But after 1850s, Indians begin to form political association to work for their own welfare. Because up till now they have understood that Britishers or British government is not going to do anything in their favor. So beta, in one of the first such association which was formed by the Indians were British Indian Association. It was formed by Surendranath Banerjee in 1851. In 1852, the Bombay Association and the Madras Native Association were set up, and many associations were set up in 1870s and 1880s. उसके बाद बेटा रेगुलर बहुत सारे ऐसे एसोसिएशंस फॉर्म हुए जिन्होंने भारत में अलग अलग वर्गों के लिए, भारत के हित के लिए काम करना शुरू किया. जब हम इन एसोसिएशंस की बात करते हैं तो पूना सार्वजनिक सभा, इंडियन एसोसिएशन, मद्रास महाजन सभा, बॉम्बे प्रेसिडेंसी एसोसिएशंस, these were some associations which started working for the welfare of Indians. These old associations formed were limited in both membership and agenda. And most of the members of these associations were educated Indian belonging to the upper sections of the society. Not only this, they only sent petitions requesting the government to reduce taxes and discriminatory practice, introduce administrative reforms and many other things. Only in writing they sent the applications for the British government. But the need for an all India associations, which was mass based and strong in putting up its demand, had been felt for a long time, and the step was taken by Surendranath Banerjee, who brought people from all over India for the first All India National Conference, which was held in Calcutta in 1883. And in that it was decided that next such conference will be held in Calcutta again in 1885. That's all in this part. Thank you.